Hey, Bears fans, I want to hear from you right now in the comment section. Who is the best quarterback in franchise history? It's a tough question. I know, some of you older Bears fans would probably say Sid Luckman from the 50s, but think modern era. Is it Smokin' Jay? Is it Jim McMahon? Harbaugh? I don't know. There's not a lot of good options. I want to hear from you guys right now. Best quarterback in franchise history, because guess what? To start today's show, quarterback talk, so stay tuned. You're watching Chicago Bears Now. Harrison Graham back for another video. Let's kick things out with a Bears rumors roundup on today's video. Are the Texans preparing to trade Deshaun Watson? 3 smoking Jays on this one. I can't give it 4 because they continue to say they want him to be back with the Texans, but let's be honest. They got to at least prepare for the worst at this point. This comes from John McClain of the Houston Chronicle, who's been all over this Watson story. He says behind the scenes privately, they're preparing for the worst, and that, of course, is to trade Deshaun Watson. And after the Matthew Stafford trade, more on Stafford later on in the video, a trade for Watson is going to cost a lot more than a trade for Matthew Stafford, considering the Lions got 2 first-round picks and Jared Goff in that deal. So how much could the Texans get? Well, John McClain believes that this is what they will want. He says the Rams-Lions trade will have nothing to do with the Watson trade if the Texans do it. They'll want 2 1s, 2 2s, and 2 young defensive starters at the least. Watson, 25 years old, under contract, great quarterback, team leader, beloved by the fans, pillar of the community. Start with the Jets. Obviously, the Bears are going to have to compete with the teams like the Jets, the Dolphins, and several others who will like to try and get Deshaun Watson. So, how bad do you want Deshaun Watson? We're going to keep talking about it. As long as he's still out there, as long as the Bears are linked to him, it ain't going away. Scale it from 1 to 100. 1 being, he sucks, I don't want him. 100 being, please, we've never had a good franchise quarterback in this team's history. I'm at like a 95. I want Deshaun Watson pretty damn bad, so I want to hear from you guys how bad you want Deshaun Watson. And think about how bad you want Watson, because that's probably how bad your wife, your girlfriend, or your mother wants some flowers this Valentine's Day. And guess what? We got a hookup for you guys with our partners, Pro Flowers. When you go to this link, chatsports.com/flowers, you can get 15% off all of their various bouquets, tons of different flower options, roses, daisies, whatever you want. They've got them available at chatsports.com/flowers. Got to go to that link to get 15% off. Plus, they've got some gifts as well. You can get this flower chocolates combo. You can get all kinds of goodies here as well. They even got some snacks, some like donuts and stuff like that. You can get it all at Pro Flowers. The spa basket is a great option as well. I'm probably going to get my wife this right here. Chatsports.com/flowers. They've got tons of different options. Again, that link is going to get you the 15% off. There's no promo code or anything, so you have to go to that exact URL, chatsports.com/flowers. It'll be in the comments and in the description. You can click and shop today. So more on this Watson deal. So here was the Stafford-Goff trade, but just to think about what value could be here. So the Rams got Stafford. Jared Goff went back to the Lions, and 2 future first-round picks, including their 3rd this year. So that's quite a lot for Stafford. I know you know part of the argument, well, they took Jared Goff's contract. Detroit's saying they value Jared Goff. So to get 2 firsts for Stafford, the Texans can get a whole lot more if they choose to do that, because Deshaun Watson is a superstar quarterback at the age of 25. Matt Stafford's 32, and you could argue his best days are behind him. Still a really good quarterback, obviously, but Deshaun Watson, just these type of quarterbacks at this age, they don't become available. It's as simple as that, which is why the Bears are going to be among 10 or 12 teams that are going to be interested in his services. So I'm going to put together a trade idea in just a second, just to remind you guys what it could look like. McClain's reporting that they want 2 1s, 2 2s, and 2 young defensive starters at the very least. That's probably where it's going to start. So here's what I cooked up. I don't know if this is enough, but if the Texans said yes, I would absolutely do this. Deshaun Watson back to the Bears. Kyle Fuller and Akiem Hicks. Hicks isn't young, but 31, 32, still really productive. Maybe you could talk him into it there. So 2 quality defensive starters there, obviously. Fuller's only 28. Your next 2 first-round picks, your next 2 second-round picks. I'll throw in a 3rd as well, because the Bears are picking at number 20 this year. And like I said, Hicks isn't young per se, so I'll throw in another day 2 pick as well in 2022. I'm doing this trade in a heartbeat. What would you guys do? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Would you do this trade to get Deshaun Watson? I think it's a no-brainer. I'm typing my Y for yes. And another reason I'm doing that Deshaun Watson trade that I proposed, the Bears save almost $14 million in this scenario because they only have to eat up $1.6 million of Akiem Hicks' $12 million cap hit next year. Kyle Fuller, you save $14 million there, so you add that up, that's about $24.5 million. You take on the $10.5 from Watson, you're saving almost $14 million while gaining a franchise quarterback. So yeah, losing Fuller and Hicks hurts, but you gain that cap, you can go add another player in free agency if you choose to do so, and there's other players you can still cut to free up more money. Oh, by the way, you can bring back Allen Robinson, which if you want Deshaun Watson, you're going to have to do that to begin with. So keep that in mind. I think that's a win for the Bears. Would the Texans do it? I'm not so sure. They may want a guy like Khalil Mack instead of Akiem Hicks. Get subscribed to the channel. We're posting videos every single day. Lots of quarterback discussion this offseason. Free agency coverage, draft coverage, we do it all. Hit that big red button and subscribe. It's youtube.com/BearsNow. The more subs we get, the more videos we'll continue to plug out for you guys. Appreciate everybody who's subbed already, but if you haven't, go ahead and do so. All right, more quarterback discussion. Were the Bears in on Matthew Stafford? Yeah, 4 Smoking Jays bear down because they were one of about 7 teams who offered at least a first-round pick for Matt Stafford. This is per Ian Rapoport. The Bears were in that grouping. Ultimately, Stafford wanted to be in L.A. He wanted to be with Sean McVay. But I think this is a good sign because this is proof that the Bears are taking a quarterback search seriously. Look, it was a long shot to get Matt Stafford within the division. Let's just be honest. They would have had to blown the Lions away. And the Lions proved that, hey, we're going to help Stafford out, get him somewhere he wants to go. Here's what Rap Sheet had to say. Several teams offered more than a first, from the Broncos to the Panthers to the Bears in the division. A lot of teams were interested, including, like he said, the Chicago Bears. I feel pretty good that the Bears at least called Detroit and were like, hey, we'll throw you a first and some change for Matt Stafford. Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace probably knew it was a long shot to poach a quarterback rival within the division. But to call, do your due diligence, offer your first and then some, that's a good sign. That proves to me they're at least doing what they can to try and get a quarterback this offseason. Now, 1 guy's off the books, or off the market now. 2, if you count Jared Goff, because it sounds like the Lions are going to keep him. These guys know what's at stake, but the market's shrinking now. No Goff available, no Stafford available. It seems like Watson is the guy for a lot of these teams right now, including the Chicago Bears. So if he goes elsewhere, where does that leave this franchise? We'll just have to wait and see when it comes to this quarterback search. I want you guys to predict it for me. Who will be the Bears quarterback next season? Who takes that first snap in week 1? I want to hear from you guys. I hope it's Deshaun Watson, but predict it for me. Who will be the Bears quarterback in 2021? We'll finish today's show with some news. The Bears are hiring Mike Adams, longtime NFL player, played safety for a good while, 16 seasons in the NFL. Most recently with the Houston Texans in 2019. Hey, can you recruit Deshaun for us, Mike? We'll see if that's a possibility. I don't think so, but played a long time, was known as a leader on all the teams he played for. Think of his Pittsburgh Steelers days. He was one of the vets on that defense for quite a while. Like the move, young hire, obviously, late 30s here, so you bring him on board. And there's been a lot of coaching additions in recent weeks, which was expected, right? Especially after some of these guys left. Sean Desai promoted to defensive coordinator. Chris Rump replaces Jay Rodgers as your defensive line coach. Bill McGovern inside linebackers, and now Mike Adams as your assistant defensive backs coach. But the Bears aren't done. They still have a couple of decisions they need to make. Charles London, your running backs coach, left for Atlanta. Bears need a running backs coach. There's no way around that. They were interested in Deuce Staley. He ended up with the Lions, so they got to go in a different direction now. Also, they lost their passing game coordinator, Dave Ragone. We'll see if he's replaced. I'm not sure if they'll hire a passing game coordinator. The Bears have a lot of coaches on the offensive staff. Bill Lazor, obviously Nagy's called plays a lot in the past. John DeFilippo. They don't necessarily need a passing game coordinator, so we will see if they replace him. But obviously you got to at least address the running backs position coach after Charles London has left. Favorite coaching change so far for the 2021 season? I love promoting Sean Desai. I think that was a good move. Maybe Jay Rodgers would have been a better option, but either way, you get younger, you get more aggressive, guys who can connect to the players better than Chuck Pagano, who is clearly at the end of his coaching career. I want to hear from you guys in the comments. Favorite coaching change for 2021? That's going to be the end of our video for today. If you have any questions around the Bears or just want to follow me on Twitter for more Bears information, you can do that at HGramNFL. Appreciate you guys for tuning in today's video. We'll see you very, very soon here on Chicago Bears Now.